Kuzuzongpo, this is Ashwini Lama, and I'm here to talk about a concept today that has almost crippled women around the world, but still goes unnoticed. Almost all of us have come across words like gender equality and feminism and know the concepts related to them. But there are other things that are often hidden behind the patriarchal society that we still live in. Do you know what misogyny means? By definition, it is a hatred or dislike of women or prejudice against women. Misogyny is the reason why women are always blamed for whatever happens to them. Misogyny is the reason women are treated less than equals or told to stay at home and cook for their families. Misogyny is also the reason that women are raped and killed and then blamed for being raped and killed. Every year, there is a memorable number of rape cases where the victim gets blamed. There are many of us who like to believe that the person who did the crime must have had some reason to do it, because that makes us feel better about humankind, about men, about people in general. We like to believe that the world is a good place and a safe place for us to live in. But when women are killed and harassed and assaulted, we cannot say that we are living in a world that is moving towards gender equality. Misogyny is such a deeply seated concept that most of us carry it around without even knowing that we're doing it. This brings me to the topic of internalized misogyny. Internalized misogyny is a byproduct of everything else that happens around women. What it means is that women themselves carry around dislike and hatred for their own kind. They also carry around a lot of prejudice. This is also why we often see women body shaming other women or, in general, being a bitch. We often think that this is because women are jealous of one another or it is just a personality trait that a particular person has. But if we dig deep, it is internalized misogyny that leads to all of this. Internalized misogyny works in many mysterious ways. A very basic example of internalized misogyny is how almost every woman thinks that she needs a man to support her financially. This is not because she is not capable of it, but because the society around her has made her believe that she is not. That is how this misogynistic belief has been so deeply engraved that she cannot get rid of it. A more dreadful example is that every time a woman is harassed or abused or raped, the first person she blames is herself. The first thing a woman wonders is if she was dressed inappropriately, or if she was at the wrong place at the wrong time of day. So perhaps this would come as a shock to those of you who have not thought about this before, but the woman always blamed herself first. Another example of internalized misogyny is how every woman is scared of going out in the dark, because she's afraid that she will be asking for something bad to happen to her. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that everyone feels this way. There are people who have overcome this, but there is something about internalized misogyny that it does not leave women so easily. If I have to take a taxi home at the end of the day, I'll be sure to carry a jacket with me to cover up just in case. Similarly, if someone who's wearing a low-neck dress gets harassed by someone, the first thing she would think is, why did I dress this way? Now, as sad as that sounds, it is too often true. So if you really think about it, I feel like you'd be able to come up with a few incidents of your own. Internalized misogyny kills women's careers. It kills their belief in themselves, and it also makes them more vulnerable. So the question now is, what can we do to make it better for women? For starters, stop with the stereotypes. Stop asking women when they'll get married or have children. Stop asking a woman in her 30s if she plans on being a spinster. Stop shaming women for having sex before marriage or relationships that don't last. Stop telling women that they can't go to clubs or have a drink without the other person thinking that they're asking for something. Stop telling a woman to not be confident about her body or show off her pictures at the beach. Stop labeling women skinny or thick or curvy or perfect or hourglass in a way that sexualizes them. All of these stereotypes need to be broken if we want internalized misogyny to go away. It'll be a long road because the word internalized exists, which means that it is so deeply seated that it is almost a part of our existence. But we can try to change it. Apart from breaking stereotypes, one very important thing is to stop victim blaming. Victim blaming is one of the main reasons that women internalize misogyny. When you blame her for something bad that happened to her, she is bound to believe that it was her fault. And sometimes it takes more than just being educated or literate or bold to let go of something like that. Women are characteristically very strong. There are so many things that a woman can handle, and all of this usually stems from her belief in herself and her strength. Let us try to protect our women, to stop blaming the victim and justifying things that help carry on the trend of misogyny with them. There are so many factors leading to a woman thinking that it is her fault. I hope that none of us will be one of those factors or the cause of one of them. We live in a world that is progressively trying to achieve equality in all fields. And while women's social and economic needs are being fulfilled, these very human areas are up to us. No policy can keep a woman from feeling bad about herself. There is no law that can prevent people from talking about a rape victim behind her back. These are very human things that we humans have to do. I hope that all of us learned a little bit today and that we'll keep these things in mind. I know that the men and women of this generation fight for equality every day. This is just one additional step. To all the women out there, internalized misogyny is not your fault, but it is up to you to pick it up and throw it far away from your life so that you have the freedom to become the bold woman that you already are.